Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting. And as you can see, it's Paydirt review time. And since it's the first week of the month, I'm going to be doing 2 bags of the Paydirt from the exact same seller so we can compare a lower priced bag to a much higher priced bag. And both of these bags are from AlaskaDredgeMan, an eBay seller. This is his 2-pound bag and this is his 8-pound bag. But for today, we're only going to be tackling the 2-pound bag. This one will be up on Friday. Now, this Paydirt comes from Alaska, obviously from AlaskaDredgeMan. He gets it from a 10-inch dredge on the 40-mile river, and this bag is guaranteed 1 gram of gold minimum. So let's weigh it up. Just make sure it's 2 pounds. Now, I will say it's shipped exactly like this in a box. It did not come with a secondary bag around it, and there is not a bag inside of this bag. This is Paydirt inside of this cloth bag. Let's weigh it up. Got 2 pounds, 4.1 ounces, so obviously it makes that. And let's open it up. Now, before I open it up, let me read you his description. 2+ pounds amount, Alaska gold concentrates, panning material with at least 1 gram of gold. This auction is for a bag of concentrate, which was mined using our 10-inch commercial suction dredge on the South Fork of the 40-mile river near Chicken, Alaska. Pan your gold just as old-timers did. I recommend a wash tub so you won't lose anything. This is a perfect material to practice doing your concentrates. This bag of concentrates contains a mixture of black sands, blonde sands, and gold. The bag you will receive contains 2+ pounds of concentrates. You are guaranteed at least 1 gram of gold in every bag. Brand new concentrates, 2017, fresh from Alaska. You will be receiving a bag of concentrates, not the gold pictured in front of the bag. Then he has a weight conversions for grams, troy ounces, troy pounds, and such and such. Now, a couple more things. He does say in this, shipping. This item will be shipped via USPS mail with a flat shipping rate of $12.95. Shipping special. Buy 2 bags of gold at the same time and pay shipping just once. Now, that part is really key because when I purchased both these bags, when I went to go check out, it charged me $12.95 for each bag. So I just paid it because I wanted to get it done with. I didn't want to be waiting. So I paid the $25 for shipping and contacted them and said, please just refund me the difference once you get around to it. And it took them 2 months to refund me my $12.95. In fact, everything to do with this Paydirt took an extremely long time. It took me almost a month to receive this Paydirt. When I contacted the seller, it took him 21 days before he replied to me. And then when I replied back, it still took another week for him to reply. It was just a giant hassle where he was telling me he was out of town, etc., so he couldn't access a phone. And I know in Alaska there are lots of places you can't use a phone or don't have Wi-Fi. But the one thing is, this seller only sells in auctions. He does not have an eBay store. He only lists things in an auction. And he could have easily not listed Paydirt. If you're not going to be in town during a sale of Paydirt, it ends on a very specific day. If you list something for 7 days today, in exactly 7 days, it will end. If I know next week I'm going to be out of town, don't list Paydirt for sale. All right, enough of that. Let's get to this. Let's see what the Paydirt is like in here. Now, I really can't rinse this bag out because if we get it wet, the dirt's just going to stick to it. So I'll do my best to shake it and get everything out to make sure I get all the gold out of it. But, all right, let's classify this down, let you listen to some music, and then I'll be right back. as you can see, it kind of steps down where you're getting a little bit less, and obviously the least amount is in the -40. And a lot of +10. I did not expect this. I mean, I figured there would be some with a 2-pound bag, but pretty good amount. I did not see gold in any of these when I was going through it. It does have a lot of black sands. I mean, that's a good bit of black sands. Check the larger material, and again, a nice bit in there. I even checked some of the larger stuff since there's so much. Yeah, good bit of that in as well. Making a mess with that, but yeah, good bit. So I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go pan this out and find out what kind of gold we get. I know I'm guaranteed a gram, but I'm really hoping I get more than that. Especially after the extremely slow shipping and poor customer service. So, be right back. Well, finished panning everything out, and I have to say, that was pretty easy. It was very clean material. At first, I was a little worried because I don't know if you could tell during the classification, it was very dusty material. But once it hit the water, it did not cloud it up at all. No silt. It didn't even have any floaters, which is I was kind of expecting since it is dredge material, but there was no floaters, nothing. It was really clean material. It does have a lot of pyrite though, and the gold, as you'll see in a minute, is very dirty. So it was a little harder to pan out the gold and to make sure I recovered all the gold just because of those factors. So if you ever buy a bag of this, just be aware of that it does have a lot of pyrite, and some of the gold is, I mean, pitch black almost. I mean, some of this gold, I had to check with my gold acid just to make sure, and just in case anyone's asking, I only checked to see if it was 18 karat, and it showed up as 18 karat, and I didn't check any further. I was just trying to make sure it was gold, and I wasn't just adding some piece of pyrite or something, or some weird looking rock into my totals. So let's get to it. In the +10, I found some gold, about 10 pieces. And if you can see this one piece right there, that is really dirty. And I'll zoom you in so you can see him better. Like that piece right there is just horribly dirty. Oh, but like I said, 10 pieces in the +10, and that's always nice. There's actually 11 pieces, but I'm not going to count them. And then in the -10 +20, I found even more gold, about 20 pieces. So really happy with that. I mean, I'm not going to complain. If I'm finding gold in every classification so far, I'm pretty ecstatic about that. And then I got to the -20 +40 and found even more gold. Probably a good 100 pieces in there. I mean, that's a nice pile of gold. So I'm pretty sure I easily got this gram that I was guaranteed in this bag. So I was pretty surprised. And then I got to the -40 and found even more gold. I was actually really surprised at how much of this flower gold was in there, considering there wasn't as much material in there, and a lot of it was magnetite. So really surprised me there with so much in that. But so let's weigh it up. I'm just going to let you listen to some more music. I'm going to put it in some boats, and then we're going to weigh it up. Before I weigh this up, I wanted to show you a couple little things I did find in there. Now, I know a lot of people ask all the time, and there are garnets in this. There was actually a lot of garnets in this, and that's about the typical size of them right there. So that was about the typical size. And I also found, let me see if I can put this on there, an old Levi's button from some pants and some weird piece of metal with some teeth on it. So, no idea what those were, but that's typical of dredge work. You will usually find all kinds of stuff besides dirt and gold. So, it's always good. Dredging always helps clean everything out. If you didn't dredge, all that stuff would stay in there and a fish would eat it. So, glad to get that out of there. Now, let's weigh this up. Let's start with the +10. Let's zoom you in. 1.068. So we're going to call that right around there. Let's see, in the minus 10 plus 20. .464 right around there. Minus 20 plus 40. .183, and then for the minus 40, this is probably enough to budge the scale a little bit, so I know a lot of times you get these bags with the minus 40, it's not even worth weighing, but there we go, 0.151. Well, let's just add it all up and see what we get. .1.867. 1.867. I'm gonna call it that. I'm gonna be right back with my ROI and my review. Well, finished calculating my ROI, writing up my review, and let's get to it. This again was Paydirt from AlaskaDredgeMan, an eBay seller. It was his 2-pound bag and it had a guaranteed 1 gram of gold added. Its cost was $65. Shipping was $12.95 for a total cost of $77.95. The gold I recovered right here, 1.867 grams of gold. Gold spot on the day I received this was $41.16. Gold's value right here, $76.85, which means my ROI was 98.59%, or on my scale, a 9.9. Now, I will say something about that. I just went and watched another review from another reviewer that did this Paydirt, and I typically don't watch other reviewers just because I don't want to be biased. If you see a whole bunch of people hating on one seller, I would generally not want to buy it. Or I'd go into it with preconceived notion that this buyer is going to suck or it's going to have this type of gold. And I like to go into every video fresh. Even if I reviewed them before, I generally don't watch or refresh my memory on those old reviews. And I've done so many Paydirts, I forget about them pretty quickly after a while. So I did look up his results, and he got about 1.4 grams of gold. And I don't know if my bag was just a little bit luckier than his, or if the seller added a little bit of extra gold because my shipment was so late. But then again, when I did watch his video, he did say he had a delayed time as well. So I don't know. Maybe this was just a good bag, or he did add a little extra gold. I don't know. But to me, either way, even on that one, I think it was 1.45 grams, somewhere around there, almost a gram and a half he got out of this. And mine, that's a pretty good ROI. I wouldn't have complained if I got 1.5 out of it. But a 98% ROI is awesome. So that was really good. So for fun factor, it's definitely getting a 10. That's as close, 9.9 is as close as you can get to 10. So I'll give him that 0.1. This was some fun Paydirt. It was nice and challenging where it needed to be, but yet was really clean material, which is always nice. For Paydirt description, only giving them a 6. It's a standard, just this is Paydirt, this is how much you're going to get and all that. Didn't really, I mean, I probably should deduct something since it still says 2017 in there, and that's 2 years ago, but maybe this is still Paydirt from 2017. For quantity and packaging, it was over the 2 pounds that they state in there, and the packaging, I'm going to give them a good score for this. Nothing leaked out of it. It is really thick cloth. It is pretty hard to get the dirt out and make sure you got everything out, but I'm pretty sure gold is a little heavy. It would probably fall out. But anyway, he's going to get a 9 for Paydirt quantity and packaging. Now for customer service and shipping, he's only getting a 4. Everything was extremely delayed, from the shipping to the replies to emails to the refund, everything. And I'm probably being a little generous here with a 4, but he did reply, he did ship it, and he did refund it. It just took a really long time. So total score, AlaskaDredgeMan's 2-pound bag is a 7.8. Now I will say, I do this a lot of times. I just checked to see what would happen if he would have actually shipped this in a normal amount of time and replied to emails in a normal amount of time, and that customer service and shipping would have been a 10, his score would have been a 9. And generally, that's probably the easiest thing, is customer service and shipping. All you have to do is throw something in a box, throw it in the mail, and reply to the email. That's the easiest part. So his score really should be around a 9, which is really awesome, Paydirt. And I really hate giving him a 7.8 because it was such fun, Paydirt, and it had such a high ROI. But if your customer service sucks, it took him, I looked it up, it took him 8 days to reply to my initial email. It took him roughly 21 days to ship me the Paydirt, and it took him roughly 2 months to get me my refund for the combined shipping. So I'm going to give him a 4, and it probably will be lower. So that's going to be it for me. I just need to give away a 24 karat gold plated dime right after I flash up the score. So check out the score right here. And now for today's 24 karat gold plated dime winner, it's going to be the Bald One. So the Bald One, make sure you email me so I can send this off to you. And to everyone else, thanks for watching and happy panning.